Move on, we'll talk about Marketo, a cloud marketing platform just recently held their annual Marketing Nation Summit in Vegas just a few weeks back. And what wasn't discussed by any keynote speaker there has the apparent hiring of investment bank Morgan Stanley to explore various strategic alternatives, including a potential sale of the company, actually. And while there's no official comment from the company, their stock, which had declined more than 25% so far this year, gained as much as 20.5% immediately after the rumors were floated. Now, Marketo, which posted a $72 million loss over the past 12 months and had $95 million in cash at the end of the first quarter, has been reducing its debt load, putting in a more than manageable position for a potential takeover. So if Marketo is actually ready to sell, Scott, but their weaknesses are declining net income, disappointing return on equity, weak operating cash flow, generally discouraging historical performance in stocks, who is the logical buyer for all this? I mean, that's the big question right now.
I think this is tough. Look, Marketo has been one that for a very long time has taken the position that we're going to be the standalone. There was this long run on marketing automation for quite some time. The big players, Adobe came in and bought Neolane, which is now Adobe Campaign. Salesforce came in and bought two platforms, in fact, ExactTarget and Pardot. And then you had Oracle come in and make their buy. So they're there was this big run on them. You have HubSpot that's still out there for kind of the smaller SMB. And Marketo was the one kind of standalone that everybody, including myself, kept talking about, oh, they're going to be the next one, they're going to be the next one, they're going to be the next one. Quite frankly, they were one of the most innovative ones kind of on the market, to be honest, and very well loved by the larger enterprises. I think that the thing here, though, is they've grown so much on their own that now they become a hard buy, and everybody's kind of already got it. Becomes this kind of like, what's the game there? The musical chairs, where you get left without a chair, and I don't know who the next buyer is. I think it could be an SAP, and let's talk about that in a second. But honestly, at this point, what Phil expressed is some frustration. Phil, their CEO, he expressed some frustration, and I agree with him completely. Is that he's over here in a time where marketing automation is extremely popular, and a lot of enterprises are looking for marketing automation solutions. The large vendors have the ability to basically go and drop their prices very easily because they don't need to look to marketing automation to be their profit bearer.
That's not but the total opposite with Marketo. They've got one. They've got one product. That's the only way to make money at this point. So they can't lower anything.
That's right. That's right. And I think so they have a hard time in this environment not having an owner, because without that owner, without that backer, and I think, like I say, I think SAP could be one of those ones to come to the dance and want to go and pick them up. But without that backer, it becomes very difficult to compete in this environment. Now, in the cloud marketing, for marketing automation in the cloud, which they are, you could look to a private equity firm, just basically anybody with deep pockets, whether that be another large vendor or whether that be a private equity firm. Either one would really help them out of this bind that they're in.
Okay. Talk about SAP a little bit more. I'm kind of curious to get your thoughts. Why are you thinking SAP?
Yeah, so I think SAP, well, for one, there's kind of two larger platform players that are still around, that are on the table here. Microsoft, who I don't think it makes sense for, because they basically pulled themselves out and said SharePoint is no longer about web content management. They don't have any other parts of the pieces. They sold off their commerce solution. It just doesn't seem like they're trying to go build up a big marketing suite. Two is SAP. And SAP very much has been in the mindset of building up a marketing suite. They made the big Hybris acquisition, I guess it's been probably a couple of years ago now, and have built up SAP marketing for the last while. They've been trying to build that from scratch. I think this would give them a real bolster, and they can also afford them. So I think that could be a really good option. But unquestionably, these conversations have already been held, and so this has been predetermined. And so the fact that Marketo is going out now looking for a bank, either it's to make that deal happen, or it's to basically go find private equity money, which is the basically only other option, I think, for them.
One or the other. It's going to be one or the other, definitely.